Lakeside, 20th and Blake Coors Field. It is game 2 of this doubleheader day between the Rockies and Giants. Game 1, after a 2-hour and 15-minute rain delay initially, went to the Giants 10-8 in what turned into a slugfest. And then we had a little delay between games, and David Hale, with a bounce in his step, will take the Colorado Rockies mound for the first time in a Colorado uniform. Rockies in the purple tops in the evening affair. We'll have first pitch somewhere close to 9:08 in the evening, which is
it's a great time for baseball.
Which is always a great time for baseball. I took the words out of my mouth. So David Hale, a product of Princeton.
Oh, he's smart.
Out of Marietta, Georgia. Yeah, most guys who go to Princeton have a little bit of intellect.
Do they run a Princeton offense or a defense when you're pitching? Is it like a triangle type thing you can do?
I don't know, but you know, they're cranking out some baseball players. San Diego's got Will Venable.
Yep.
Saw Chris Young pitching the other day. He's still going strong. They're Princeton products.
All right, I love it.
Do they even talk to you? I'm just curious.
Can they talk to me when they? Oh, with
do the Ivy League guys talk to you?
Emory, is that an Ivy League?
Emory in Atlanta is a really good school. You know somebody from Emory who talks to you?
No, I had one that I got a recruiting letter in high school.
Really? Well, that counts then. So
yeah,
they should talk.
Is that an Ivy League?
No, it's not.
Okay,
I'll explain to it in a commercial break. Never mind. Nori Aoki will lead things off. He did not play in Game 1. He'll bat first for Bruce Bochy in Game 2. Here's Bochy's Southwest Airlines lineup. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Joe Panik again will hit second. Buster Posey sat out the first game. He'll be behind the plate. Brandon Belt, Brandon Crawford, Gregor Blanco, Justin Maxwell is in right field for Hunter Pence. Casey McGee, your good friend Philly, he's at third base batting 8th. And Yusmeiro Petit, making that spot start, will of course bat 9th. These are the numbers last year with Atlanta. 39 appearances out of the bullpen. He had 6 starts, and when he started, as we alluded to, he was pretty good.
He's pretty good. He's got a great sinker, slider, curveball, and changeup. He's going to mix those in. Average fastball velocity about 92 miles an hour. Again, this is another guy the Rockies love, especially at Coors Field. Guys that can induce the ground ball. Last year, he was excellent. Well over 55% of the time getting that ground ball. You want to see him pound the strike zone? Keep the Giants off the base at all times, at all costs. You should be able to figure that out, right?
Absolutely. Well, give him a good start initially, like Jordan Laws. And it's a shame. Jordan hurt his toe in that first game. He was rolling. First 3 innings, there was only 1 base runner, and that was on a strikeout, kind of wild pitch and error that he reached on. That was the leadoff man, Gregor Blanco. First pitch strike, nicely done by David Hale. So 9:07 first pitch. Aoki hasn't hurt the Rockies much this year, just 3 for 17. And here's the 0-1, and that's fouled off. 0-2. Aoki first made his name with the Milwaukee Brewers. You played against him, didn't you?
In Japan, Aoki-san?
No, you played against him here.
Oh, no, I did not.
You didn't play against him here? Okay.
Not that I remember.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Temperatures dropped to 45 degrees.
Yeah, no, I was in the bushes in 2012. I was in the minor leagues when he was in the big leagues.
That's outside. Changeup misses, so it's 2-2. 4 of the first 5, actually 5 of the first 6 will hit from the left side against David Hale. Aoki had 984 games between 2004 and 2011, before you got to Japan, with
Yakult Swallows.
The Swallows, famous team over in Japan.
All the teams in Japan are famous. I mean, every fan base they're fanatical about their teams in Japan.
This is bounced to short. Descalso will have to hurry, and he gets Aoki by a step. Nicely done by Daniel. And let's visit with the Rockies defense. In the outfield, Brandon Barnes. In left field, Charlie Blackmon. In center, Cargo's in right. Arenado, Descalso, LeMahieu, Paulson, and McHenry. So 5 Rockies will play both games. Blackmon, Gonzalez, Arenado, LeMahieu, and Paulson. 1 out, and here's Joe Panik. Strike one on Panic.
David Hale marks the 8th different starter that the Rockies have had to use in 2015. So far, the most in the big leagues is 9, and that's the Houston Astros and the Los Angeles Dodgers. 2 teams with the least amount of starting pitchers used, the Tigers and the Milwaukee Brewers.
This is slowly hit to third, positioned perfectly is Nolan, and on the run he throws out Joe Panic. Yeah, I think some people are a little surprised that the Dodgers have had to use 9 starters already and have been able to do so with great success. Usually if you're hunting for starting pitching, it is a problem.
Well, I think in the Dodgers case, they've been doing it on purpose. They've been kind of manipulating that 25th man, using guys in AAA, and with, when I think of David Hale, not David Hale, one of my left-handed pitcher friends, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. Anyways, he started a couple games for the Dodgers, and they've been mixing back and forth using different starters to get all these starting pitchers.
Well, of course, Ryu now has to have shoulder surgery, so he's going to be out.
Brandon McCarthy.
Brandon McCarthy was pitching really well, and he blew out. He's had Tommy John surgery. Here's the 0-1 on Buster Posey. You talking about Brett Anderson?
Not Brett Anderson. Now I got to go through all the rosters now. This is my friend. I got to look him up on my phone.
You're too young to lose your memory like this.
It's not that.
1 and 2.
You know, we spent a lot of time at the ballpark today, and caffeine can, you know, kind of kick you in the head. So if I start talking really fast, you know where it's coming from.
I understand. 2 outs, nobody on. David Hale working a Buster Posey. Here's the 1-2. Mike McHenry, his battery mate. Dougie hands me these things, and this is when we get in trouble.
David Huff is
okay,
the guy.
David Huff.
Yes.
So he hands me this note. I'm going to let you read this, so you get in trouble if this doesn't work out.
Well, why don't we call him Gerald? Gerald Posey so far this year is 4 for 21 against the Rockies in 2015.
All the people watching said, "Oh, Spilly, that's the kiss of death." Giants have won 8 in a row. Rockies trying to cool them off. They're now 25 and 18, chasing the Dodgers. The Rockies, with the loss, now 10 games beneath 500. That's inside. Firm fastball at 92. Soft line drive to Descalso, and a very nice start for David Hale. He walks off the mound. See if the Rockies can get a jump on Petit when we come back. as they will be facing Yusmeiro Petit. Take a look at Walt Weiss's lineup. It's once again going to feature Charlie Blackmon at the top. Charlie at 273. With 6 home runs out of the top spot in the lineup. And here's who will follow Charlie. DJ slides up to the 2 spot. Cargo, Nolan Arenado, Ben Paulson in the middle. Michael McHenry had a home run in his last start. Brandon Barnes, big energy, and that's not a misprint. He's hitting .833 since his call-up from Albuquerque. Daniel Descalso will bat 8th, and then the pitcher David Hale. Yusmeiro Petit is invaluable to the Giants because he can wear so many hats, including the one he'll wear tonight, and that is starting pitcher. And there are many around baseball, and I'll raise my hand, me included, sometimes wondered why he isn't a full-time starter, because when he's been given the opportunity, he has had some really special moments.
And you're right. I mean, when you get a guy that you can hand the ball to and he can do different things. He has a save this year. This is his first start of the season. And as a starter, you look at his numbers, they're not that bad. 16 and 22, but less than a 5 ERA. The way you like is that he goes out, eats innings up, and that's what Bruce Bochy loves. If there's a game starts to get out of hand, he brings in Petit and kind of calms the storm.
Well, I'll tell you about 2 of his starts in his career. Back in 2013 on September the 6th against Arizona, he was 1 out away from becoming the 24th pitcher in the history of the game to throw a perfect game. He retired the first 26 before Eric Chavez singled cleanly to right field. That doesn't sound like a spot starter to me. Here's the 1-1. That misses. And then last year, he tossed another complete game on September the 9th. September special month for him. And he threw 84 pitches.
Well, he's just like a guy that's going to pound the strike zone. He has a great changeup.
This ball's well hit center field. Did Charlie get all of it? Not quite. Blanco goes back to the track and makes the catch. Here's a look at the Giants gloves in the nightcap. Aoki is in left. Blanco, as you just saw, is at center. Justin Maxwell is in right field. Casey McGee at third. Brandon Crawford with the good hands at short. Panic at second. Belt once again at first. And Buster Posey is behind the plate. Former National League MVP. 1 out, and DJ at the plate. Hitting .577 this year against the Giants. And he takes strike 1. DJ in the first ball game went 2 for 4, drove in a run, scored a pair of runs. The offense starting to show signs of coming out of what has been a extremely difficult stretch. They have scored 16 runs on 26 hits in the last 2 games. That's the good news. The bad news is they were both losses.
They're both losses, but you talk about, well, you'll hear Walt talk about the best way to get out of slump is doing what? Play more games. Get your at-bats in. You start feeling it. You're starting to see it with Cargo. DJ hitting in the 2-hole. He's starting to feel good again. Had the great month of April. Slowed down for a bit. And then getting Nolan and Tulo back on track. Once this lineup starts clicking, this is a lineup that's going to score a lot of runs, but right now they're very uncharacteristic of what they're capable of doing.
And it's really not to point fingers, but it's the guys that you expect to produce big numbers who have not. You know, the DJ LeMahieu's, he's done his job. Nick Hundley, he's done his job. The big guns have to get going, and they know that. Here's the 2-1. And it's a called strike. Paul Nauert's behind home plate. Good to see Paul. He sat out the first game of the doubleheader. He got hit in the thumb last night late, stayed on the field for another half inning. That hadn't come off. He got x-rays on it. We were told they were negative. Ball came off the bat at 108 miles an hour, and he was around second base on the grass. That's where he was positioned. 2 outs. We tell you every night you can join the conversation. Send us your thoughts. Photos are welcome as well on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. Just utilize the hashtag Toyota Talk. 2 outs, nobody on. And Cargo coming up, and you see his hands wrapped up. Rockies again rallied in the 9th inning. Cargo had a base hit in that 9th inning. You said it so many times this year. Jeff Houston has said it. George Frazier said it. You've noticed it. So many guys are pitching Cargo backwards. Start soft.
You put him in a weird situation where Cargo's hunting fastball, and you go up there and you start looking and you try to predict what's going to be tossed to you. Are they going to throw me a fastball away or inside? Well, right now the way that they're pitching Cargo is soft away, hard in, then hard away. He doesn't really have a set pattern. There's a base hit for Cargo. His last 2 at-bats, base hit. He's starting to get him warmed up.
Good to see. Well, no shift from the Giants. Some other teams, this would play right into the shift.
Yeah, there's a ball. Cargo getting fully extended. We're used to seeing that swing. Here he is driving it right up the middle. And you like it. I mean, there's times where you see the shift and the guys hit the ball right where guys have been standing for the last 100 years, and it's a base hit. And then there's times where they don't do the shift and the guy doesn't get a hit. That one, I don't think there's a hit regardless.
Hopefully Nolan in the 9th inning got himself straightened out. He had a line single to left to drive in a run. He's been mired in a little bit of a funk of late. And true to his word, Nolan, who was taken out of the ball game late last night after the rain delay, his back was a little sore from a couple of dives on the dirt, said, I'm going to play both games, and here he is starting in game 2 after playing game 1 as well.
Well, here's what Petit features in. He has an arsenal. He throws a fastball 54% of the time. He will throw his curveball and slider and change everything to keep you off balance. You get these hitters counts, and with what Petit can do, he can throw any pitch at any time on any part of the plate. That's what makes him effective. Low walk rate. He's not going to walk you. He's going to challenge you.
Oh, 2.
Ooh.
Just hope Nolan had let go of the bat in time. It's on his throwing hand. I'm sure you've gotten hit where you on the bat where you get the hand pinched.
It's a sinker that just runs itself up. Hitting right in the, looks like the right middle finger. Getting hit in the hand, one of the scariest things is as a hitter. Your hand immediately goes numb. Your hand starts shaking. You're worried if you broke bones, if you don't know what happened. It's the worst feeling is to get hit in the hand. So many bones in there, metacarpals, knuckles.
Well, that's a good sign that he's able to close his fist like that. It always takes a couple of minutes to get the pain out of there, first of all.
Oh, yes.
So with 2 outs, the Rockies have 2 on, and Ben Paulson at the plate. He's been swinging the bat very, very well since he's been summoned from Albuquerque.
You love his approach. Quiet at the plate, willing to hit the ball the opposite field. And then he's got some pop. Evident by this home run to deep center field. He took it straight out, dead center. He got a pitch that was out over the plate. And then later on in the game, shoots the ball opposite field for a single. It was the same thing. His first pinch hit double the other night. Rocket over the shortstop.
Well, he's trotted around the bases 86 times in the minor leagues, so he's not unfamiliar with hitting the ball out of the yard. He's got an OPS this year of over 1,200 right now.
That's pretty good.
That's quite nice. This time he's going to ground to Panic. And that'll end the inning. So we'll go to inning number 2. No score. Rockies and Giants. Nightcap of a doubleheader. Visiting San Francisco Giants against David Hale, and it's time to check in with Jeff Houston. Jeff, what do you know?
Well, I just want to give you a little update. We still are looking for the return of Justin Morneau. Of course, yesterday he was eligible to come off the DL, but he's still experiencing concussion-like symptoms. He's still day-to-day. And if people are wondering how long he can stay on there, he can stay on there as long as he needs to until he gets healthy again. It's not like you have to move him to a 15-day DL. But hopefully, Justin, they say he's getting better each and every day, but still a ways away from returning.
Yeah, and anytime you're dealing with concussion issues, scary. We all understand that. I think everybody's learned more about the effects of concussions over the last several years. And for Justin, because he's been through it a couple of times, you really have a heightened level of concern.
Yeah, there's a level of fear there. Yeah, I mean, you don't ever want to throw around terms of how long is he going to come back, but there is a level of concern there, especially with the amount of research that has or hasn't been done when it comes to concussions and how long it can linger or what it does on your effect as you get older. I think you've seen it National Football League where you're having guys retire at age 23 because they're worried about their long-term health.
Belt hits it on the ground to Ben Paulson. 1 out. With every challenge called, the Subaru Eyesight Review will determine the outcome. Love, it's what makes a Subaru. So we went the first, I don't know, 5 weeks of the season, and maybe there was 2 reviews. Last few days, there's like 3 reviews a game.
And most of them have been overturned. So they've been getting them, I guess, right and right. Or wrong, right.
2 wrongs don't make a right.
It's true.
Brandon Crawford, for the 6th time this year, hitting in the 5-hole. In the past, we've always seen him typically batting 8th, but he's put up such prodigious numbers so far. He's in an RBI spot. Only 3 times last year did he find himself in the 5 spot. Was there a spot that you preferred to hit?
Third. I loved hitting third in the big leagues. I felt like I was the best hitter on the field.
I'm the man.
I'm the man.
You can play Tula's walk-up song.
Yeah, I'm the man. I'm the man. Anytime you're hitting near the middle or the top of the lineup, you feel good. You walk out with your chest puffed up.
I assume once you establish yourself in Santa Barbara, you hit third, or did you lead off some?
At UC Santa Barbara, I hit 9th.
Initially, you did.
Yeah, I was a 9-hole hitter.
Till when?
Till my redshirt junior year. Then I Then I put on some weight.
2-2.
Yeah, I was a 9-hole hitter. I still remember a quote my college coach said. I was strictly out in right field for defense. Anything I did offensively was a plus. You don't think I remember that?
That'll motivate you. This could be playable for McHenry, and then again, it may not be. I thought you were going to say your college coach said you're hitting 9th only because we can't hit you 10th.
I still remember I was DHing one time, and you know how college kids are, and I wasn't doing very well, and they were like, "You must be the best defensive DH in all of college baseball."
This ball is hit well to right center field. It's going to short hop the wall, and it will be a 1-out double for Brandon Crawford. This guy looks like a different guy offensively.
It's amazing what results will do and what confidence gives to a player. When you talk about it, when you start to feel that confidence in it and you're not worried about hitting with 2 strikes. Here's a ball that's just out over the plate, and like he's done all day today, he's been just driving the ball up the middle, hard into the gap. That's an easy double for Brandon Crawford.
So Gregor Blanco at the plate. That's ball 1. Blanco is 11 for his last 28. After suffering through an 0 for 11 slide.
We've been talking about how hot the Giants have been in the last 11 games. Last 11 games, Drew, these guys are hitting .405 with runners in scoring position.
That's ridiculous. See that tweet from Buster Olney on the Royals having the best record in baseball. This is on the ground to second. DJ will throw out Blanco. Crawford to third, 2 outs, and that'll bring up Justin Maxwell.
Well, in the style of baseball that the Kansas City Royals plays, good starting pitching. They get the offense to put the ball in play. They do not strike out a lot, but they also don't walk a ton. They do get on base. They force the issue. They choose the right times when to steal bases in that bullpen.
Well,
it's a race to the 6th inning.
Yeah, for me, it's often a 6-inning game when you're playing the Royals because of how strong they are 7 through 9. It's low, ball 1. Some of the injuries they had early, Justin Maxwell, with Pence out of there, he really gave this club a pick-me-up.
And you need that from your bench guys.
Watch this now. Crawford's so hot. Watch what Nolan does.
I used to like to take hits away from guys. You wipe their sleeve and take their hits away. Give it to yourself. Nolan was like, man, what do you feel like?
There is not a more superstitious bunch than baseball players.
No doubt. He's like, what are you doing? These are the conversations that are funny because the questions are, if the guy's struggling, hey man, what are you doing? And the other guy, Crawford's like, I don't see the ball and hit me.
1-2 on Maxwell. Good block by McHenry, and they're going to try to score the run, and Crawford comes down the lane and dives head first in. We're talking about how aggressive he is in the first game. Something similar happened in game 1.
Well, this is just anticipating. When you get 2 strikes in a situation where you're on third base, you're looking for a ball down. That is some instincts right there. To see the ball down, he was expecting it down. Look at him. He never stopped. Typically, you don't get rewarded by that play. You're usually out.
Maxwell strikes out, but Crawford scores on the wild pitch, and the Giants take a 1-0 lead in the second. Places by Clean, Crisp, Coors Light, and by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. With former Rockies outfielder Ryan Spilborghs and former big league infielder Jeff Houston, I'm Drew Goodman. Mike McHenry leading things off in the second inning. Slider from Yusmeiro Petit for a strike. Petit, as you've noticed, he's in full bullpen mode. Goes out of the stretch at all times. McHenry an RBI single after the lengthy delay last night, right around midnight. Close to it. He drove in a run. The Rockies tried to come from 7 runs down. That was also a called strike. Hit a home run the other day, 2-run shot on Thursday as the Rockies beat the Phils 7-3. This guy's a pro.
He's a pro. He takes a quality at bat, does a good job getting his work in every day. Swings at a tough pitch with 2 strikes right there. He's having to expand the zone. He didn't like the 0-1 pitch, but that's one as a catcher. You go, all right, fine. That 0-1 is borderline. I better get it on my side.
Who wants tacos? If the Rockies score 7 or more, as they did in Game 1, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Live Mas at Taco Bell. So Brandon Barnes getting his second start since being called back to the big leagues, and he hits a hop up on the right side. Panic calls off Belt. Second baseman has a better angle. 2 outs. You know, it's no accident that Barnes, who figured to start one of the 2 games, is starting the nightcap for Walt Weiss, because Walt loves his energy. It's infectious. It's not phony. And on a long day at the ballpark, especially it's been made longer by the delays, you want a guy who you know is going to be fired up like he just had a pot of coffee.
And he probably has. He probably had 2 pots of coffee, but you want that. You want the positive energy. You want the encouragement. You want the guy that sits on the top step the entire first game and then plays hard for the guys in Game 2.
Here's Daniel Descalso, 7 for his last 17 at the plate, including a home run and 6 RBIs. That bases loaded double in LA. This ball's well hit to left field, but Aoki's going to be able to make the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 second inning for Yusmeiro Petit, the native of Venezuela. 1-0 Giants. On a ball that skipped away about 8-10 feet from Mike McHenry on a wild pitch. That's the difference in the ball game. Today's fun fact is brought to you by All Copy. This is interesting. Percentage of doubleheader sweeps doesn't happen much. 52% of the time since 2010. You go back a few more years, it was 51%. Basically about 53% in 2000. Most of the time they end up
in a split. But 52% of the time a sweep, I thought that number was going to be a lot lower. I thought it was going to be around 20%.
Good sinker, and Daniel Descalso will throw out Casey McGee. One out, and that'll bring out Petit. Referenced how Brandon Crawford did virtually the same thing in game one. It was a first and third deal, and Jordan Lyles, or was Lyles out of the ball game at that point? I'll look back. Lyles may have been out of the ball game. This is Petit. This is slowly hit. Descalso with time, with the pitcher running. 2 outs.
All right, he had plenty of time. That was a very slow play right there.
Actually, Jordan was still in the ball game, and he picked to first, and he threw it in the dirt, and it got away a few feet from Willeen Rosario. Crawford never hesitated.
No, and he's aggressive, especially with 2 outs. And that's what the Giants were doing all day today. They're aggressive with 2 outs. If there's a ball in the dirt, they take the chance to take the extra base, and right there you have nothing to lose. With Justin Maxwell in that at bat, he had 2 strikes, ball in the dirt, take a chance. The amazing numbers about that first game in the Giants, they were 10 for 19 batting with 2 outs, and once they got the runners in scoring position, 6 for 8. 2 outs. That's why we saw something today that we hadn't seen in a long time, the 10 2-out RBIs.
Here's the 1-0 to Aoki. Ground ball to first. Nicely done by Ben Paulson. Terrific inning for David Hale. He's pitching well. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Giants leading 1-0. Of the order, facing Yusmeiro Petit. Giants up 1-0. Hello. I can't wait until everybody can put their sweatshirts away and come to the yard. Short sleeve shirts like summer in Colorado.
Yep.
Ought to be. David Hale takes strike 1 from Petit. So Yusmeiro Petit, for a guy that's primarily a long haul guy, has had some moments in the sun where he became a national story. The near perfect game we mentioned, the 84 pitch complete game last year, and then most notably he's in the record books. And I'm not talking about the giant record books, I'm talking about all time. He retired 46 straight hitters last year, 8 out of the pen, 2 as a starter. 46 consecutive hitters retired is a major league record, one ahead of Mark Burley. Do you know who broke it up?
No, I have no idea.
You'll never guess.
I know
it's a Colorado Rocky.
Colorado Rocky.
It ended against the Rockies.
Oh, it
Who
did?
do you think broke it up for the Rockies? He's on the roster right now.
Charlie Blackmon.
It was not Charlie Blackmon. You get 3 guesses, and then I get $100 from you.
All right, and I'll pay it over the course of the year.
I understand. No, you'll do that.
I'm going to guess.
Dougie's trying to help you.
A pitcher, Jordan Lyles. From my memory bank.
Because you guys cheated, both you and Dougie owe me $100.
Perfect.
Yeah, Jordan Lyles broke it up. Petit's got to be saying, man, 46 in a row, and I give up a hit to him. Now, Jordan can swing it, though.
Yeah, of course he can, but
and I remember,
not like the 46
I believe
major leaguers before.
Who couldn't do anything with him. I think it was a double to left field, if I remember right. There's a base hit to left field for Charlie. The Rockies have their second hit. Cargo had the first. DJ LeMahieu coming up.
Charlie squared the ball up in the first inning as well to center field. He's taken 2 quality at bats against Petit, squared both balls up. That's why this game is so frustrating. You can hit a ball, square it up, take a great swing, and it's an out. Then you can take a half swing, broken bat, 2 guys fall into each other, and it's a hit.
It is a beautiful game and a frustrating game. Exasperating game at times. DJ popped to short his initial at bat. Charlie's got a pretty significant lead against Petit. Charlie leading the club with 7 stolen bases. Wasn't a bad idea from LeMahieu. But obviously, the last thing you want to do is pop up the bunt. So there are 2 outs, and that'll bring up Cargo.
If you don't already receive Hot Rocks emails, you are missing out on the best ticket deals around. The only way to receive these emails is to become a Rockies registered user. Go to Rockies.com and register today.
Cargo bounced a single through the middle of the diamond, his first at bat. Off the plate away, ball 1. Cargo from a baseball hotbed, the 2nd largest city in Venezuela, Maracaibo. Yusmeiro Petit from Maracaibo.
Maracaibo. These guys have played against each other growing up and in winter ball and spent time against each other or working out together. In the
Charlie
offseason.
takes off and it's fouled off. Yep, Johnny Guerrero.
Yep,
Johnny's from Maracaibo. The Bean. I'm just going to guess, Bill. I've never asked you this, but having been around Johnny for the years he was here, knowing how popular he was.
Am I going to get to make fun of this guy right now?
No, he's got to be one of your all-time favorite teammates.
All-time favorite. He's way up there. He is way up there for a guy that never grew up after high school, and to make it to the big leagues and was the slowest switch hitter you've ever seen. I love the guy.
There goes Charlie again, and once again it's fouled off. Yeah, you give being a lot of credit. I haven't checked lately how he's doing with the Cubs. He's with the Cubs now. He's with Boston last year. But a diminutive switch hitter with a great glove.
Can't bunt.
Who doesn't run well.
Doesn't run well and can't bunt.
Usually if you're 5'8" and you're in the big leagues, you can fly.
He can fly. He can't. But he could take it at bat. And for the last couple of years, that role was missed by the Rockies. That utility switch hitter, guy that can play multiple positions. We saw it last year.
This is ripped, and Bell knocks it down and runs to the bag to end the inning. And Johnny is hitting around 220 this year with the Cubs in 20 ball games off the bench. 1-0 Giants. We'll go to the fourth. Brought to you by the Ford Super Duty. Built better, built stronger, built Ford tough. By Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. I want to give a big shout out to our crew in the truck and around the stadium. This is a long, long day for those folks that get here about 6 hours before what was the scheduled first pitch at 2 in the afternoon. That's a nice hat, Bo. What do you got in the French, Bo?
Bo keeps trying to get me to play tennis.
Bo and I used to play years ago. We used to play on a fairly regular basis. Time has not allowed it, but Bo's a good player. Look at Huey there. What's he doing?
He's hiding.
But our crew has this ball hit by Panic is hit pretty well to right. Get down. Cargo is going to have to chase it. He's going to get help from Blackman. That's a great job by Charlie Blackman. What do you learn early on in baseball? There's always somewhere to go.
Yeah, you're not going to just stand around and be a spectator. And these are just the hustle plays. This is out of respect to your teammates. This ball is, you don't have a chance for Charlie Blackman to catch this ball. But look, he's going to hightail it to get over there, sees it might hit off the wall. And he prevents Panic from being at third base, where you have a runner at third base, nobody out. He's at second. It's a great job by Charlie Blackman.
It's a tremendous job.
Because that's effort. That's just strictly effort. It has nothing to do with anything else. It's just the amount of effort you're willing to put out.
Leadoff double. Posey at the plate. A good slider. 0-1. Posey hit a little flare to Descalso in the first inning. David Hale out of Princeton by way of Marietta, Georgia. Got an economics degree from Princeton. When he made his big league debut, it came against the Padres. This is a high fly ball to shallow center. And here comes Charlie. He's going to have it.
Well, let's take a look at what we're talking about with Charlie Blackman and just the effort. You can see where he's standing. He is way out in left center field. As soon as this ball's hit, A lot of guys will just stand and watch it. Charlie sees it, then it might go off the wall. Look at him take the route. That is a long ways to run. That is at least 100 feet that he's gone just to back up a baseball where you're not even expecting to get the ball. And that so far is provided. That would have been a sac fly to center field had Charlie not backed that play up. We're talking about a run.
90 feet's precious, man.
He just saved a run.
Yep, 90 feet's precious distance. Now watch Brandon Barnes. You say, well, he's 2 miles away. Brandon Barnes is coming in just in case to help back up third base. And it's the pitcher's responsibility to be there also, but you never know. You get a crazy hop. Always somewhere to go. 0-1 on Bell. This ball lined to center, and Blackman's there again. See, if you brag on a guy, he's going to get a lot of opportunities to show you that you tell him the truth. 2 outs.
A lot of times I remember I always wanted to back up selfishly. I wanted to be part of a rundown on the infield. So I always wanted to back up just so I could be part of a rundown. There was times where the infielders were pushing me out of the way because they didn't want me to handle the baseball.
Do you know who got involved in one? I think it was last year. It was in the last couple of years. Michael Kadire.
Yeah, it's great. When you see an outfielder, you get one of those, fly ball down the right field line. The guy throws it in, and then the right fielder ends up being, the left fielder ends up being in a rundown. Those are great. Fills up the scorebook.
Change up to start out Crawford, and he nearly wrenched his back. He was so far out in front. Crawford doubled in the second and has scored the only run of the ball game. We're in the 4th inning. Got still at second with 2 outs. Mike McHenry keeps it in the neighborhood, 1-1. I was saying, so David Hale makes his debut against the Padres. Princeton grad. The first guy he faces, Will Venable, who was leading off that day. And it was the first time in the history of the game that a guy from Princeton was facing a guy from Princeton.
What ended up happening? Who won the battle?
He struck out Venable. Then Venable yelled to him. He said, "Let's play hoops."
Yeah, run the triangle on him.
Will played basketball at Princeton also, as did Chris Young. 1 ball, 1 strike on Brandon Crawford off the end of the bat, shallow center field, and not shallow enough. That is a big league record you just witnessed. Charlie Blackmon made all 3 putouts.
I like that.
We go to the bottom of the 4th, 1-0 San Francisco. Houston on Root Sports this evening. And yeah, a blanket is required. It's been required for most of the homestands so far. When we come back from Cincinnati and Philadelphia, I want to see 88 degrees and nothing but sunshine. It's ripped foul by. You work on that?
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Ripped foul by Nolan. You know, Nolan's little brother Jonah is not so little. He's about 6'4", a couple 100 pounds. Young third baseman in the Giants system. He went to El Toro High School as well, hitting just under 270, 5 home runs, 24 RBIs for Augusta in the Sally League. This ball is launched to center field, but it's not going anywhere.
Ball's not traveling so far. Charlie in the first inning hit one hard to center field. Nolan hit that ball. It sounded good off the bat. What was good to see with Nolan in that at bat right there was I didn't see any problems with his hand. He got hit in the first inning. Looked like he was shaking it quite a bit. He turned on a first pitch fastball down the third baseline and then drives one out to center field. So it's good to know that his fingers hopefully feel okay.
Ben Paulson hit it on the ground to second, his first at bat. If you're wondering about how long Petit can go because he's been working in middle relief, Bruce Bochy feels like he can get 90 pitches or so out of him.
Well, and he works quickly. I mean, 35 pitches so far through 4 innings. That's going to be more than efficient.
This is a high fly ball that's well struck, but foul. Petit last year at one point went 70 straight hitters. Get this, not without walking a guy, without having a 3-ball count.
That's crazy. I mean, if you think about it, when you're pounding the strike zone, you never get to a 3-0 count. You're getting the hitter to put the ball in play, and you're pounding the strike zone. You just ask what was the most he could pitch. Petit has thrown 45 pitches in a start or in a game against the Florida Marlins, the Miami Marlins.
See, I got him. It's 3-1 right now on Ben Paulson.
Yeah, but it wasn't 3-0.
2-1? Scoreboard says 3-1. Oh, it's the second 3-ball count. Is that Doug was furiously waving at me. I thought I had the count wrong. 3-2. Doug, just grab the headset and talk. Stop with this pantomiming stuff. If we were playing charades, he'd be in last place, right?
Yeah, I'd be terrible at it.
If the three of us were playing charades, you'd be in 4th place. We'd have Huey ahead of him. We can't even see Huey. 3-2 on Ben Paulson.
First pick for charades would be Dinger, though. He's used to communicating, if that works.
Well, that's a wonderful point. Paulson draws a walk. That is most unusual, as we've been describing with Petit. So with 1 out, tying run is on for Michael McHenry.
Don't miss the action at Coors Field when the Dodgers, Marlins, Cardinals come to town June 1st through the 10th.
Outside ball 1 on Mac. Came up in the Rockies organization and then got an opportunity to go to Pittsburgh, and really became a big leaguer with the Pirates.
Well, and I remember Clint Hurdle talking about how when he was in Pittsburgh, he wanted to get McHenry from the Rockies to Pittsburgh. And he went to Pittsburgh and had some huge home runs for him in a drive a couple of years ago where they almost made it to 500, but they had a great run in August. They were pushing to get to the playoffs. McHenry was a huge part of it.
Two 2-0 on McHenry. He's got a lot of pop. And that should be a base hit. It will. It'll drop. And Paulson to second. Well, Michael McHenry, one of his best friends in and out of baseball, is a pretty fair player. Andrew McCutchen of the Pirates. In fact, Michael was in Andrew's wedding not all that long ago, and they talked 3 or 4 times a week. And McCutchen, who was in a horrendous slump to begin the season, started to come alive. And that 8-2 victory today, he had a big day, and I noticed the average is above 250 now. And there's some home runs and ribbies. He's too good a player to be held down for very long.
I mean, superstar is a superstar for a reason, and McCutchen's one of them. Hit a huge homer off Matt Harvey. Still doesn't look right to me. He's still from watching it. Yeah. Well, watching him run, he doesn't look like the McCutchen I've seen run. I know they talked about the left knee. He says he's fine, but you never know.
What would happen to Sampson if he cut his hair?
Yeah, that's right.
0-1 on Barnes.
Was it Delilah that made him cut his hair?
It's her fault.
Yep.
One ball, one strike. Brandon Barnes typically is going to do something to impact the game in a positive way.
Well, that's what you want. When you want guys that are role players and people when you're going through a tough time, but as far as the Rockies not playing good baseball, you want energy. You want guys that'll take pride in what they do, give you a tough at bat.
He's also down. I don't know why, but he's down 15 pounds. And when he had the bunt base hit the other day in his 4-for-4 outing, he got to first. He turned to the dugout and patted his stomach. And you know he was in great shape last year, but he decided I'm going to be even, lighter. Stole 7 bases down in Albuquerque. There's the 1-2, and there's a base hit left center field. That's going to tie up the baseball game. McHenry's going to go first at third. Barnes trying to move up, safe at second base. Brandon Barnes doing his thing. You just gotta love the way he plays.
I mean, that's going to make us jump out of our seats. If that doesn't get you fired up, I don't know what will. You just see him. He has the energy. Not only that, but McHenry going first to third. Here's a pitch. Brandon Barnes went down to AAA and started working on a toe tap. Remember spring training, he was trying to hit like Matt Holliday, had a leg kick. Now he's gone to a toe tap. He feels like he sees it better. Here he goes. He drives the ball. This is right in front of Aoki, a good outfielder. Looks to throw. McHenry's running right in his face. And then Barnes keeping his head up. Look at this. Acceleration. Run right through panic. And then yell at your teammates, so let's go.
And they score it a double. So second and third for Descalso. Inside on Daniel. Look at the reaction, man. Like you said, if that's not going to get you out of your chair.
He loves it. Look at that. Let's go.
We've said this a lot to him. And he's an all-time guy also. He plays baseball with a football mentality. On the ground toward the hole, it's going to get a run home. Descalso makes it 2-1. Nice job, Daniel Descalso. Situational hitting. Gets it in play, and the Rockies are up a run. 7th RBI for Descalso. I shorted him 2 RBIs. I was looking at the wrong number. That's 9 RBIs for Descalso. David Hale at the plate. Well, earlier we saw Crawford on a dirt ball score. I guarantee you this, if Barnes sees anything that touches the dirt, he's going to be flying down that third base line.
Yep. Well, Descalso's a bat. That's a professional at bat. We talk about getting RBIs without getting a hit. That's a situational at bat. As a team, you have to get the ball on the ground. Descalso does a great job. Put it on the ground. It's not about just moving the runner over. It's about giving your team a chance to get over and get that run in. I love that McHenry took the chance to go first and third on the left fielder. You say thank you, Michael McHenry, and then Barnes following up to be able to run to second base for that double. But to me, it started with McHenry going first to third. That's your catcher.
Take it, you know what? But know where outfielders are playing, and understand, as Frage likes to call it, it's a ponderosa out there, man. It's enormous. So even though McHenry is a catcher and probably a tick below average runner, doesn't mean you can't go first to third.
Well, you know McHenry's going to be upset that you said that, because right now he had 2 stolen bases.
We've talked about that. We have visited about that. I said, you got, for a while he had the club lead.
Yep.
I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing.
It's probably a bad thing.
2-2 on David Hale. And Hale gets it in play, but it's at Bell. Good inning, productive inning for the Rockies. A walk, a couple of hits, and the Rockies, led by Brandon Barnes, have taken a 2-1 lead as we go to the 5th.
One of them. Take a look. Do you recognize that bat?
Hold on a second.
It's in Japanese.
Oh, you know what? That's a Ryan Spilborg 271.
Yep. That is a Japanese Spielborg's modeled bat. It says Spilly-san. Actually, it says Spilly 19, because they can't, phonetically, in Japan, they couldn't say Spielborg's. And when that's written in what's called kanji, and it's sounds. So the very first letter is a sp, and then the next kanji is the spill, and the last one is the e. So in Japan, when I came up to hit, it was Ryan Spilly. I wasn't Spielborg's in Japan.
Spilly.
I was Spilly-san.
Spilly-san. What is Jim Armitrout doing with that bat?
A favor, and I like it.
Very nice of you. Gregor Blanco at the plate, and he takes a strike at the knees from David Hale. Blanco, Maxwell, Casey McGee, 6, 7, and 8 for the Giants here in the 5th inning. The Rockies have taken a 2-1 lead. David Hale's allowed just 2 base runners, 2 doubles. And if not for a wild pitch, he'd be throwing a shutout right now.
Following suit with Jordan Lyles, you saw in the first game, Jordan Lyles doing a great job for the first couple innings, getting the first pitch strike. David Hale so far tonight, 10 out of 15 first pitch strikes. And as a result, you see the scores have been low through the couple innings where the Rockies starting staff is controlling the strike zone.
And 2-1 pitch is popped up. Daniel Descalso backpedaling. 1 out. See where Brian Price got tossed out before the ball game started. He was upset with the strike zone at Jim Reynolds like 2 days ago, and he got tossed before the game started. And the Indians go on to win 2-1. The Reds have now lost 7 in a row. I mentioned that because Colorado is heading to Cincinnati after the ball game tomorrow. They'll play the Reds 3 ball games: Monday afternoon, being Memorial Day, Tuesday evening, and then Wednesday afternoon on Getaway Day. 0-1 on Maxwell.
That's holding a grudge. If you've held it for 2 days and you couldn't wait to give the lineup and get your money's worth, then that's grudge match. That's 2 men enter, 1 man leaves, steel cage match, center field.
I think the strike zone had something to do with it, evidently, but more than that, coming into the day, Brian Price's team had lost 6 in a row, and that probably had him even more agitated.
I get it. I mean, you don't want to watch a game. What better way than to make sure you don't watch it than to just hand the lineup card and say, kick me out.
Every once in a while you see that. Hi, guys. Kids are very savvy now. Hello, live television.
Mom sees these kids right now. It's like, okay, did dad give them way too much sugar? How much Dippin' Dots and Coke did they get tonight?
A lot.
They're going to sleep hard.
But not for a while.
Nope.
0-2 on Maxwell outside, 1-2. Maxwell struck out his first time. .393 career hitter against the Rockies. He is very close friends with Brandon Barnes. They played together in Houston. It's funny, Maxwell told me we were out in San Francisco. He said, "How's Barnes doing?" And I said, you know, he's grinding. He's grinding. There's a base hit. And he said, that's one of my all-time favorite teammates. And then Barnesy saw Maxwell, and he goes over, gives him a bear hug, and I happened to be there, and he said, he's one of my all-time favorite teammates. That's the neat thing that you got to experience playing in the big leagues, playing in the minor leagues. So many great friendships cultivated.
It's a fraternity. I mean, I hate to use that word over and over again, but it is a fraternity, and your currency is good stories and being a good teammate and being a gamer and grinding through games like this where you've been around the field all day.
McGee shoots that past the diving Descalso, so now they're 2 on and 1 out, with Petit coming up in a sacrifice situation.
He jumps on this fastball and gets it right past a diving Descalso. Just barely missed it, but again, talk about effort. It's been a long day. The guys have been standing around, and to continue to put the effort, to lay out, to hustle, run the bases, take the extra base. This is one of those games that in a doubleheader, it comes down to effort. Effort and execution. How can you stay up for a game when you've been at the ballpark since 9:30 in the morning?
Boy, that's a great bunt by Petit, and Arenado's forced to field it. He goes across to DJ. 5-4, 2 outs, and 2 in scoring position. And a tough out, and Aoki will come up. I guess the answer to that question, and you know it, is it's about being professional.
You have to be a professional, and it gets hard. There are days that it is really difficult to be a professional. And you would laugh and say, well, isn't that what you get paid to do? Yes, but there's a lot more things riding. You're tired, you're exhausted, there's things going on in your home life. It's hard to be a professional every day in this grind of a game. You feel like things aren't going your way. Ball's not falling for you. Lining out. There's all these little things that could take you away from being a good teammate.
0-1 on Aoki. It's a big sequence right here for David Hale, who's pitched very, very well. 2 outs in the 5th inning. Aoki is leading the National League in hitting with runners in scoring position in 2 outs at .538. It's fouled off. Barnes is thinking about running into the stands. One and two.
Well, and Aoki-san is a guy that's going to put the ball in play, and you can see it when you have 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Part of the deal is you just put the ball in play, see what happens.
And a base hit. 1 run is scored. Here comes McGee. The throw. Not in time. And Aoki moves up to second. He does it again with 2 outs. 13 runs scored today by the Giants, and all 13 have scored with 2 outs.
It's an incredible number, and Aoki just sitting, putting the ball in play, pulls it right past DJ LeMahieu. This is a great throw by Cargo. I thought maybe McGee's leg was still up in the air. You can see it right here, and I thought the tag.
Ooh,
I thought the tag beat him.
Leg is up in the air. He's out. Good call, Spilly. He is out. And they're going to take a look at this, and they got to overturn it. And that will keep the score tied. Time for a Subaru review. Whether you're on the road or at the game, everybody could use a second set of eyes. Crowd's reacting because they're seeing what you just saw at home.
I think that camera angle shows it the best. Give me out call. Out. Boom.
There it is. Cargo throws out. Casey McGee at the plate. Great tag by Michael McHenry, and that keeps it a 2-2 ball game. Great job on both ends. 2-2 as we go to the bottom of the 5th.
Spilly and myself as far as what were our superstitions. I'll get to mine here. I had a couple. Well, the first one I had was that I always put my right sock on first, no matter what happened the night before. It's always my right. The second thing is I went out for stretch at 20 minutes before we were getting ready to take the field. Every time it was 20 minutes for me.
That's weird.
I know, it's weird. But it's only weird if it doesn't work.
That's true.
That's mellow compared to some of the ththings I've heard.
I didn't do anything, nothing strange. I never chewed gum and then kept it for a couple days. Never did that. I was just a feel guy. I mean, I had my routine, my hitting routine, but that wasn't a superstition.
Have you met anybody
worse than
as superstitious or in the same realm as Helton?
No, not even close. I mean, Helton went out of the realm, and I asked him before, I was like, why would you drive a certain way if you got 2 hits? Or why would you do this and do that?
This is a jam shot that Panic's going to grab. 1 out.
And Todd just said it simply. If I felt it gave me an edge, I would do it. Plain and simple. He said, I knew that some of the stuff I did was ridiculous, but if it gave me an edge, if it felt like I was coming up to the plate and the pitcher had no chance because I drove in the fast lane and went and stopped for a burger and made sure I hit this stoplight and did this and that to give me that advantage, he'd do it.
And if he forgot, he'd retrace his steps.
Yes.
He told me once, as DJ comes up, 1 out in the 5th inning in a 2-2 ball game, that as much as he loved to play, at the end of the year when he could let all that stuff go is a huge relief to him.
It's got to be. I mean, at some point it becomes almost a habit that you want to get rid of.
One and one.
And it's funny, none of those, I asked him, well, do you have any of those habits now when you play golf? If you shoot a good round at the golf course, do you make sure you do the same thing? He's like, no, Spilly, come on. Not that crazy.
And I asked him if he had it when he goes hunting.
Oh, to get like a special buck? Huh. I bet you he does for buck hunt.
1-1. Spill Borgs. I made you at the plate. That's the Mayhew at the plate. Fouls off 1 and 2. Fouls off 1 and 2. Now you confused me. It's getting late. Getting a little punchy. Look at that average against the Giants. And the former Rocky, Chris Iannetta, on the list. Pujols, you expect to be on every list of
every team he's
offensive
ever faced.
prowess. 1-2. This is bounced up the middle. It's got eyes and top spin, and DJ reaches again. So the go-ahead run aboard as Cargo approaches with 1 out.
Well, and for DJ, it's just about putting the ball in contact, making hard contact, hit it hard up the middle. I mean, it's old rhetoric now that we keep talking about how well he hits the ball opposite field, center cut, but the best hitters in baseball typically hit the ball hard up the middle. The first person to defend it is the pitcher that's 60 feet 6 inches away, and they're usually not the best athlete on the field. No offense to pitchers, but they're not the athletes that the shortstop and the second baseman are.
7-game hitting streak as well for DJ. Here's Cargo, 1 for 2, and he was robbed of a hit his last time up on a smash at Bell. On the outside corner for a strike.
But you can start seeing, I'm starting to see the little swagger in Cargo when he's starting to walk up to the plate.
He's just seeing pitches better.
He's seen it a lot better. He's had 2 walks in, I think, 3 of the last 4 games. He's hitting the ball hard.
Two strikes. 1-2. Petit came up in the Mets organization. One year was their pitcher of the year.
I want to say in 2007, it was Petit that had the start for the final game for the Diamondbacks when the Rocks won the last game, the last home game, to go to 162.
You may be right. He was on that Diamondback club.
I want to say he got the start.
1-2, 2-2. An interesting story when he was growing up in Maracaibo. He graduated from high school and he told his parents he wanted to pursue professional baseball. His dad said, "I'll give you 1 year, and if you don't get signed, you're going to college." And he worked morning, day, and night in his pursuit of trying to get signed. And he got signed by the Mets for 20 grand.
Well, it's rare that you ever hear of a baseball story where the guy didn't work hard and made it to the big league.
And Petit gets the strikeout, a Cargo on a changeup. Maybe it was a curveball. A chase pitch, 2 outs.
Again, tough sequence against Cargo. They threw a pitch high up and tight, pitch before, and then he drops a slider down and in the dirt. Cargo probably hunting fastball, and then he throws the slider down there.
And your memory is correct. Petit did start that last game for the Diamondbacks in 07.
5 innings pitched, 4 hits, no runs. He was good back then.
Arenado lined the ball to deep center in the 4th inning, and he hits a high fly ball to deep left center field. A long run for Blanco, and nearly a collision between Blanco and Aoki. Still not sure who caught it.
Yeah, who has the ball?
I think it's Blanco.
I think it's Aoki.
And they're not opening the glove. We don't know yet. It is. You know what?
He stole it from him.
Yeah, it's Aoki. It's a good ball game. 2-2. Brandon Barnes an RBI double. Nori Aoki had a base hit to drive in a run. David Hale's been good. What would have been the go-ahead run last inning was cut down at the plate by Carlos Gonzalez. So Joe Panik out of the 2 spot in the 6th inning will lead things off. Buster Posey behind him. And a first pitch strike, and that's been pretty much the story tonight for David Hale.
Control the strike zone, control the tempo, put the hitter in a defensive count. As you get 2 pitches, if you throw first pitch strike and you talk about this. We'll always talk about it. You throw the first pitch strike, the batting averages drop significantly. Then you have 2 chances. You have 2 pitches that you can throw to try to get the hitter to 2 strikes.
And that's the other big swing pitch, the 1-1 pitch. Does it go to 1-2 or does it go to 2-1? And you're talking about a couple 100-point delta.
And you want to talk fighting words with the umpire is usually the 1-1 pitch where you feel like it should have been a ball and it swings the bat the other way around.
It's the hitter on the defensive. Panic fouls off that 1-2 pitch. So Hale came up in the Braves organization, and it's not surprising. One of the things Atlanta, one of the many things they've done so well, they've produced great pitching through the years. That misses. But Georgia is a hotbed for baseball, and they seem to find a lot of players in Georgia and manage to sign them. I mean, you go back, Jeff Francoeur, Brian McCann, Georgia kids. This is on the ground to first. Then Paulson did a nice job drop stepping and getting a clean hop. Panic's retired, and that'll bring up Buster Posey.
Well, and if you have a major league team, your state should be the state that you dominate with your scouts and with your hometown players. These are kids that grow up and worship a Chipper Jones, Andrew Jones,
Jason Hayward.
I mean, all these guys, you grow up and you want to be a Brave if you live in Georgia. If you're in California, you want to be a Dodger, or depending if you're in Northern California, you probably don't want to be a Giant, but you want to be an A. Well, that's only because I'm anti-Giant.
Here's Buster Posey, who grew up in Georgia, southern part of Georgia, crossed the state line and was a Seminole, and one of the all-time great Seminoles.
Well, I've had a good time today during these rain delays to read some of these player profiles.
And 2 strikes on Buster.
Gerald Dempsey's Posey's one of my favorite ones to read. He's a genius. Finished top of his class, 4.0 in college. Married his high school sweetheart.
Had a song written about him.
Yep.
And look at this, on an 0-2 pitch, he just punches it out to right center field. That's how you hit 300.
Well, I'm not going to talk about how pretty his swing is right here because it's not. But what I do like is the ability for Posey. That ball is well off the plate. He still finds a way to put the barrel on it. And then he just walks with it.
Yeah, and now he has a 15-game hitting streak. Not only is that how you hit 300, but that's how you get to 15 games in a row. Pitcher's pitch off the plate. He knocks it into right center field. Brandon Belt. Ball 1 on Belt. The Coors Light Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer. Belt 3 hits, including a 2-run home run last night to the upper deck. 3 hits and a home run in each of the Giants' last 3 road games at Cincinnati. First player in Major League history with 3 hits and a home run in 4 straight road games. How about that?
Wow. All his homers have come in the last 4 road games.
He's got a 2-0 pitch here. Those swing really hard guys are scary.
Yes.
You know what? They're going to strike out some, but when they run into one, they go really far, as we witnessed last night. It's like Hunter Pence.
Yeah, Hunter Pence, he swings, but these are big guys. I mean, Brandon Belt is a big, tall lefty, and when he runs into it, he goes farther than the average guy, farther than whenever you could hit a baseball, and not for any other reason than just the leverage he creates.
This ball's well hit, but Carr goes right there. I'd say one of the reasons to me that Cargo is a perennial Gold Glove candidate and has won. He gets great reads and jumps on the baseball. That's Bill, you played out there forever. You were a good outfielder. That ball was squared up. Cargo rarely takes a misstep.
He doesn't. I mean, he's a natural center fielder, and you're asking him to play right. I remember when he was in left field, and you have it felt like when you had Dexter Fowler in left field, in center, in Cargo in left, I felt like there was no ball that would ever go and land in that left center field. Now he's in right. You got a center fielder in right field.
That'll be a wild pitch, allowing Posey to move up.
It was a changeup grip. It's down in the zone. It skips up on the fort. Just pops up off of his glove and scoots away.
Crawford's been a tough out all season long. 1-0 count on Brandon.
Well, I'm tired of reading these stats about how good these guys are with runners in scoring position. Let's just say he's good right now.
On the outer edge for a strike, 1-1. '80th pitch for David Hale. Done a really nice job in his Rockies debut. 2-1. Line toward Cargo. He's there, and he'll make the catch. Posey left at second, middle of inning number 6. The Rockies 2 and the Giants 2. Paulson, Michael McHenry, Fort McHenry, Brandon Barnes to face Yusmero Petit, Drew Goodman, Ryan Spilborghs, Jeff Hewson, and there's a member of our Root Sports crew, Corey Sullivan. On the radio side with Jerry Schimmel tonight. Jack Corrigan is off this weekend. Why do you call him Wikipedia again?
It's not because he's smart. It's because he looks up everything in Wikipedia and then sells it to you like he knew it the whole time.
Just throw him under the bus when he can't hear.
Don't go to trivia night anywhere because he'll cheat.
My man Rich, engineering in the background. Two, bottom of the 6th. Paulson.
I'm going to get a text pretty soon.
If he was looking at the monitor.
Yeah.
2 runs, 5 hits for the Rockies, no errors. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for San Francisco. Rockies trying to snap the Giants' 8-game winning streak, their longest since 2011. We're talking about Cargo's defense, Gold Gloves, and the Rockies have some Gold Glove fielders a number of spots. Arenado, Tulowitzki, LeMahieu now, Cargo. Baltimore played Gold Glove caliber defense last year.
No doubt.
Do you know the last Giant to win a Gold Glove? You have to go back almost a decade.
Omar Vizquel.
Omar Vizquel, who I think belongs in the Hall of Fame, just like Ozzie Smith, who won it primarily for his glove. Omar Vizquel belongs in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and I think Omar Vizquel is well over 2,800 hits in his career, and that was a number that surprised me when I was thinking. I was like, I thought he was a guy that didn't get a lot of hits.
Played a long time.
Is he the first base coach for the Toronto Blue Jays right now? Is that where he is? I'm pretty sure he is. Toronto Blue Jays first base coach.
You talk about a guy who took phenomenal care of himself.
Oh man.
So many middle infielders playing today whose idol was Omar Vizquel.
He used to barehand balls at shortstop all the time.
How about when it was Omar Vizquel at short and Robbie Alomar at second? Will make the play.
Omar Vizquel, 2,877 hits.
That's a Hall of Famer.
Yes, it is.
McHenry a single in his last at bat, 1 for 2. Rafael Betancourt has gotten up.
Corey Sullivan texts me. How's he supposed to be? Isn't he working in the radio booth? How's he listening to me?
Can you repeat what he said?
He says, I'm a fibber.
This ball lined to center, and McHenry has his second hit of the night. And here comes Mr. Energy, Brandon Barnes. This just came across, Billy. Did you ever miss playing for the Rockies? Now that you covered them.
Well, of course, he missed playing in the major leagues, but I was no longer a major league player, and my path took me overseas to Japan, and that path also took me away from my family, and I was gone for 7 months. So do I miss playing with the Rockies? Of course, but my path was not with the Rockies anymore.
Barnes an RBI double in the 4th inning. Talk about a hustle double. This is a hustle double.
Well, you don't get too often where you get a team double. You get a guy like Michael McHenry running hard in front of you, running right in front of the left fielder, and then Brandon Barnes running with his head up and taking that extra base. Assist Michael McHenry.
Looked a little tall, but it's called a strike, 1-1. Barnes, he politely asking Paul Nauert, where was that?
Is at the top of the zone is usually the question. That's the top. And you can live with that. Sitting 1-0, you can live with that pitch being a strike. All right, just don't do it right here. Don't make the 1-1 pitch a borderline strike.
One and two. Barnesy down the first base line. There's one, and he'll beat the return throw.
Crawford made that a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
He's got quick hands, doesn't he?
He's got great hands. One of the better shortstops defensively in the game, and now that he's raking, that means he's hitting really well. He's turning himself into almost an all-star for this Giants team. Look how fast he is at the transfer, and to put that much on it, that was close.
Noah's come out in the on-deck circle. There's 2 outs. Hale's due next with Descalso at the plate. What on earth does Rene Lachemann have going on the top of his head?
Yeah, he's got his hat on top of his beanie.
Only Lash can pull that off, huh?
Well, yeah, he always wants to have his baseball cap on. Old school.
This ball hit high in the air, deep right field. Descalso has hit it out. Daniel Descalso, 2-run home run. And the Rockies back on top 4-2. How big a week has Descalso had going back to L.A.?
Getting an opportunity to play, he's making the most out of it. And this is what you want when you have your role players and your bench guys getting opportunities. The more bats they get, the better off they're going to be. Here's the ball out over the plate. Descalso turns on it. It's a changeup that did not have enough differential in the speed, and it just sped up Descalso's bat, and that's a homer. Brandon Barnes knew it right off the bat.
And with the home run, David Hale will take his turn.
Front row Descalso.
He's got closet pop.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to hit it in the third deck. The first row is good.
They count it just the same. They'll give you bonus runs for hitting it in the third deck. Though Brandon Belt would probably lobby to get that. On the ground is short. That'll end the inning. But a 2-out, 2-run home run from Daniel Descalso has given the Rockies a 4-2 lead as we head to the 7th. Tavern Downtown. Visit Tavern Downtown after Rockies home games and get 2-for-1 draft beers with your same-day ticket. And by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Daniel Descalso, a 2-run home run on the Rockies, leading the Giants 4-2 in the nightcap of a twin bill. Top of inning number 7, Gregor Blanco, Justin Maxwell, Casey McGee, and David Hale in his Rockies debut. Will march into the 7th inning. He's allowed just 2 runs on 6 hits. He's got Blanco twice, a ground ball to second and a pop to short. Boy, I love seeing the donut in the walk category. And there's strike 1.
Just try not to mention it, just in case we have any of those things that, you know, we're going to say it, now it's going to happen. But it's been 18 innings so far without a walk.
popped up left side, long run for Descalso, and it's going to drop.
Follow live Rockies baseball in 2015 with MLB.com and bat on your phone, smartphone, or tablet, featuring scores, stats, highlights, and more. Download MLB.com at bat.
Justin Maxwell, a strikeout and a single up the middle. Pretty good speed combination at first and at the plate. It's the old good pitch, bad result for David Hale.
And you know what? When you're still forcing teams to make contact, and that's the type of contact they're getting, Buster Posey last inning, you can live with that. It's better to get that type of contact. If they get a hit, they get a hit. So what? It falls in front of the outfielders. So what? Get a double play. But it's when you start getting barreled up and the balls are starting to get hit around the ballpark where there's nothing the outfielders or infielders can do.
This is a check on David Hale. It's also to buy time for Betancourt. Brooks Brown now. Betancourt was up earlier. Brooks Brown just coming off the disabled list this afternoon.
And the meetings like that are twofold. It's one, yes, you're buying a little more time for Brooks Brown to start getting loose. Number two, it's a reminder of what you want to throw to Maxwell right here.
Eight ground ball out so far for David Hale. Maxwell hitting in the 7th spot in the lineup. Slider. It's framed nicely by McHenry.
Ball just taken right off the outside part of the play. That's a pitch that you'd love to have. Put Maxwell in an 0-2 count. McHenry does a good job to frame it. Paul just thought it was a little bit off the plate.
Pretty close play. Blanco got back.
When you're sitting on the bench, you're always looking, especially if you're a base stealer, where does the pitcher hold the ball when he's in the stretch? Does he hold it in his hand? Is it in his glove? David Hale holds it in his glove, but he was quick at the transfer to be able to throw it over. When a pitcher holds the ball typically in his hand from the stretch, he can get a little extra step. And sometimes you're also picking over to see if Maxwell might show a bunt. If he's going to do a sac bunt in the situation, you don't know what he's doing.
1-2. Showed you this yesterday. The Giants hitting over 200, second best in baseball, 2 strikes. Rockies top 3 in baseball last year when they hit 193 with 2 strikes. Swung on and missed. A strikeout of Maxwell. And now you have a prime double play candidate in McGee if he can get a ground ball. Let's look at that slider again.
Great pitch sequence. It's the ball that he wanted earlier in that count, that 0-1 slider off the plate. Throws him another one, just caught enough of it to get Maxwell fishing. That has a little late bite to it.
Casey McGee tied for the National League lead, grounding into double plays with Andrelton Simmons, which is shocking because Simmons figure can run pretty well. They both have grounded into 12. Now, Simmons plays every day for Atlanta. McGee does not for the Giants.
Well, number one, it tells me Simmons hits the ball hard on the ground a lot. And we know what Casey McGee is. It's not fast.
One out. Blanco at first. 0-1, he takes off, and it's fouled off. Bochy has always done this, not afraid to hit and run at the bottom of the lineup.
Not at all. And when you have a guy like Casey McGee that has 12 double plays, you're trying to prevent it. Blanco can run. He has quite a few stolen bases this year. He's going to give himself an opportunity to not ground into an any double play.
Hunter Pence has come out in the on-deck circle. 0-2. Sliders blocked. 1-2. Hale at 90 pitches, trying to get through this 7th inning. The Rockies up by a pair of runs on a Descalso 2-run home run. Close. It's a little bit low.
That's fine. In these 2-strike operative counts, you want to expand the strike zone, see if you can get someone to chase. You know how well the Giants hit with 2 strikes, but a lot of that has to do with where the pitch location is. Is it in a spot that's elevated where they can put the ball in play and have a ball fall?
Runner going, and it's in the air to right center. Blackman and Cargo. It's Charlie. Chance to get a double play at first, and getting back in time is Blanco. 2 outs, and here comes the dangerous Hunter Pence. And the right guy caught that ball. Spilly, explain that.
Well, that's because Charlie Blackman's running towards first base. And so being able to make that throw to try to get Blanco, who's on the hit and run right there, or just trying to steal the base, is moving.
And ordinarily you wouldn't say that because Cargo has one of the biggest arms in baseball, but he's running away from where the ball's going to go.
Yep, and the ball's going into that right center gap. Typically, Cargo would catch that, but because Charlie's going to try to make a throw to first base, Cargo lets him catch that because his momentum goes and makes a better throw. Otherwise, Cargo has no chance to make a throw at first.
So here's Pence with 2 outs. And that pitch is away, ball 1. Hunter started in right field in game 1 and went 2 for 5. Drove in 2 runs, scored 2 runs. One and 1. Well, this is Bochy's big card off the bench in game 2, Hunter Pence. And he's going to play it here in the 7th. Swung on and missed. 1-2.
David Hale still getting movement on his fastball. Keeps that one up just enough to where Hunter Pence swings underneath it.
And in his career, this is an unfamiliar spot. This is a guy that plays every day typically.
There's a different mentality taking a pinch hit at bat.
Did he go? Good pitch by Hale.
And for some guys that have never played or pinch hit before, there's a certain level of aggression that you need to be successful. Hunter Pence is naturally aggressive. He's a guy that's going to be swinging.
Go out there again. They did. Pence punched it to right for a base hit. Cargo able to cut it off. That's huge. That's going to prevent. Well, how did that go all the way through the infield to the Giant dugout? It cost the Rockies a run, and now the tying run at second. You have to assign an error. It's going to go on Gonzalez. That ball's got to be cut off somewhere.
Well, what I saw was that it short hop the infielder, and you can see Cargo gets to the ball, does a great job. He turns and throws, fires it in. And you see Descalso allows it to short hop him.
David Hale's going to walk off. If you're David Hale in that situation, are you between third and home because you're not sure where the throw is going to go?
You need to be at third base. You need to be backing up third base. I think that's a situation where you know he's not going to be trying to score, but yeah, you are kind of in no man's land in that spot.
So it's a one-run game, 4-3. Brooks. Should have been first and third, but Cargo's throw into the infield went past everybody. And so now it's a runner at second, a run in, and Brooks Brown will try to get Nori Aoki, who had a base hit with 2 outs in the 5th inning to drive in a run, and if not for a great throw by Gonzalez, would have driven in 2. Brown off the disabled list and right into the fire. Four of the next 5 hitters are left-handed. Brown trying to get Aoki. Down the line, foul.
Well, and Brown is very effective against left-handed hitters. They're hitting cumulative 190 off of him, so he has the ability to get in, throw the ball under the left-hander's hands to get those outs and those rollovers.
2 balls and a strike on Aoki. An impressive first outing for David Hale.
No doubt. Goes 6 2/3 inning. You don't walk anybody. You get 2 strikeouts. Pitch to contact. He worked efficiently, quick, great pace.
In the air, left center field. Barnes will get over and make the catch to end the inning. So the Rockies will head to the bottom of the 7th with a 4-3 lead. Look back, Colorado's #1 volume Lexus dealer. Brandon Barnes with a leg double to drive in a run, and his energy is infectious. Aoki with a base hit. Look at the throw by Cargo. 1 run scored, and initially the runner's called safe at the plate, but McGee, after review, was called out. That kept the ball game tied at 2. And then Daniel Descalso, who had gone 335 at bats between home runs, has now hit a home run in LA. 13 at bats later, he hits one here at home. And that's why the Rockies are out front. It's 4-3, top of the order for the Rockies. Charlie Blackmon, DJ LeMahieu, and Cargo. Hunter Pence stays in the game in right. Justin Maxwell has come out. Remember every day Eddie Guardado? This is every day Jeremy Affeldt. Twice a day, I guess. 20th appearance for Affeldt. Blackman's 1 for 3. Charlie takes inside, ball 1.
Well, it's such a nice thing for Bruce Bochy to have, where you have a lefty that you can run out there and every day, every game, get 1 at bat, start off an inning. Can be your situational lefty. We saw how well he's done in the playoffs. I mean, we're talking historical names when you start putting Jeremy Affeldt in that group.
He had a rough night last night. He faced 5 hitters, and all 5 hitters got a hit against him. He faced 3 before the rain delay in the 9th, and then 2 hours later he faced 2 more. Kind of surprised by that.
I was too.
But, you know, Bruce Bochy knows his guys, and sure conversed, obviously, with Affeldt, and Affeldt gave the thumbs up that he was okay to go after the lengthy rain delay. That is a fair ball. Affeldt takes the flip from Belt, 1 out. The day after every Rockies victory, get 50% off your online order at Papa John's. When you get to the website, papajohns.com, put in the promo code ROCKSWIN. DJ's hitting 7 in a row, base hit in the 5th inning. Boone Logan up for the Rockies. Two balls and no strikes. Rockies have hit 4 home runs today between the 2 ball games. They lost 10-8 in the afternoon/evening affair. This is the late night affair. 3-0. Paulson, Hundley, and Blackman home runs in the first game, and Daniel Descalso the 2-run home run an inning ago in the nightcap.
Yeah, the power hitter Daniel Descalso. Good at bat.
4-pitch walk to LeMahieu.
Small Business Night at Coors Field, presented by the UPS Store, is Tuesday, June 9th. Join local small business owners for a pregame picnic and stay for the game.
Cargo a base hit in the first inning, 1 for 3. Not surprisingly, LeMahieu draws the throw. Jeremy Affeldt in his 14th big league season. And that's back up the middle, and Crawford is there. He's got 1 play, and that's to first. And DJ is in scoring position for Arenado. I'm going to put Arenado on and go left on left with Ben Paulson. Now,
you want to
Wall
counter?
could counter with Rosario.
Or he could go Tulo.
You could counter with Tulo also. So there's the walk. Paulson may give the look back, or may not. Nope, he's just going to stride to the plate. So Paulson.
Oh, he gave the look. It was just a couple of hairs before. Wall gave him a nod. You were looking down.
Part of this may be the Rockies are already up a run, and Paulson is a better defender. And it's not so much a knock on Rosario. Rosario's just started playing first base really a couple months ago. This ball up the middle with topspin on through, base hit. And the Rockies get an insurance run as LeMahieu scores. Left on left, Ben Paulson comes through, and it's 5-3. Rockies get that run back.
Well, there's times in baseball you can overthink things. You want to go too much for a matchup this year. Jeremy Affeld's been struggling against left-handers. They're hitting .350 off of him. Ben Paulson's been taking a quality at bat every time. Here's a chance for him to just put the ball in play. Do what the Giants have been doing. 2 out RBIs. You can see him. He drives it right up the middle. There's that run. There's an extra insurance run for the Rockies.
So the Rockies get after Jeremy Affeldt. They outs. Michael McHenry coming up to face George Contos. An intentional walk to Nolan. He's now at third after the base hit up the middle by Ben Paulson, who started both ball games today. And he continues to swing the bat well since coming up from Albuquerque. Rockies saw Contos last night, and they got 3 runs off him in an inning. McHenry's 2 for 3 in the game. On the inside corner for a strike. Rockies trying to end that giant 8-game winning streak. McHenry pulls it toward the hole, and what a play by Crawford on the backhand. He flips it to second. Terrific play by Crawford that saved a run, but the Rockies put another on the board. DJ scores it. It's 5-3 going to the 8th. Rockies Real Time Part 2 of the gift of the game, Nolan Arenado. Learn more about the challenges that Nolan overcame in the minor leagues to make it to the big leagues, and how Troy Tulowitzki's been such a large influence on his young career. That's after the postgame. I know you'll enjoy it. Rockies right now enjoying a 5-3 lead. We go to the 8th inning. Boone Logan is set to go. Joe Panik, Buster Posey, and then another lefty in Brandon Belt. Panik, a double in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 3.
Well, Logan struggled a bit at home. He's got an 8.22 ERA, but lefties are hitting only 111 off of him, and he's going to face quite a few right here.
Ball and a strike on Panik. Good slider. Boone grew up just outside San Antonio, Texas. Drafted out of high school by the White Sox. Strike 3 inside corner. Logan freezes Panik, 1 out in the 8th.
Well, this is a ball. I mean, Boone Logan, arms and legs, knees flying at you. Throws a slider that he's thrown so well throughout his career. McHenry doing a good job keeping that ball in the strike zone. Got plenty of plate.
On the outside corner, strike on Posey. Posey had an 0-2 base hit in the 6th inning. His punch to right against David Hale. Hale's on the plus side, 6 2/3 in his Rockies debut. 3 runs, 2 earned, 8 hits, no walks. Such a big key. Couple strikeouts. 2 strikes on Posey.
So many times as a hitter, when you foul one straight back or you get a good pitch to hit, you have to find a way to clear your mind, reset, try not to take that last pitch. It happens with strike calls against you.
Oh, 2, that's outside, 1 and 2. Sharply hit to short. Descalso throws out Buster Posey. They're 2 gone in the 8th.
The rooftop is the place to be during baseball season. Arrive early for pregame festivities and beer specials before first pitch. I think I'm going to have to take Corey Sullivan there and apologize to him for making fun of his trivia prowess. He's really good.
Now you're kissing up.
I had to read it.
Brandon Belt 0 for 3. Though he's hit the ball hard twice. A line drive to center, a line drive to right. Big swing and a miss. Boone Logan, interesting career path. In that when he was in A-ball, he went to spring training in 06 with the White Sox and made the opening day roster. I don't see many guys jump from A-ball to the big leagues.
No, but when you throw like Boone Logan, and it's rare to see a left-hander throw from that angle. You look at Javi Lopez with the Giants. Except Boone throws for a high velocity. He's always been a strikeout pitcher, has a great slider. He's been effective on right-handed hitters. He's not just a left-handed specialist. He can take the 8th inning.
1-1 on Belt, 1-2.
And you know how I feel about seasoning. If you have an arm and you can throw hard, I want those bullets being used at the big league level. I want to see those high-velocity pitches at the major league levels. I don't want to see them being burned in the minor leagues. And if it's an uncomfortable at bat and the guy's a little bit wild, even better.
1-2. Well, there's a finite number of pitchers and pitches in a pitcher's arm. We all know that.
No doubt. I mean, you don't want to have to think about those things, but 1 in 4 major league pitchers right now has had Tommy John.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Belt with 2 outs in the 8th. Chin music, 3-2. Perfect setup for a slider.
Sure. I always felt after a pitch buzzed a tower that it does 2 things. Number 1, it does open up the slider for some guys. Number 2, they want to stick their nose in again. Come on, throw another one.
And he went slider, but he missed with it. So Belt walks. And that brings up Crawford. First walk by a Rockies pitcher tonight. Crawford doubled and scored in the 2nd. Fly ball to center and a line drive to right that was caught by Cargo. Crawford increased his average by about 100 points last year against lefties, as opposed to what he did in 2013.
Oh, and part of that is when you get these at bats, and as an everyday player, you start to face the tough lefties. And being with the Giants, you're facing a lot of guys in the National League West. Facing Clayton Kershaw forces you to keep that front shoulder in.
He was hitting .419 against lefties coming in, but he grounds out to end the inning. Good job by Boone Logan. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. The Rockies up by 2. Brandon Barnes, Mr. Espresso, making it happen today. An RBI double, a run scored. David Hale, a terrific start, 6 2/3. 3 runs, 2 earned in his 2015 debut for the Colorado Rockies, and Descalso a 2-run home run. Cantos in there, and he throws the first pitch in there for a strike on Barnes. Barnes, Descalso, and then we'll get a pinch hitter for Boone Logan. Both teams with 8 hits, but the Rockies leading 5-3. And this ball lined right center field. This one will get down, and the barnyard has another hit. Tonight's Game Changer is brought to you by T-Mobile, and the Game Changer, Daniel Descalso, in a 2-2 game in the 6th inning, goes big fly to right. Said it earlier, he had got 335 at bats between home runs till he went deep in LA, and then just 13 at bats later, he goes trotting around the bases again.
Yeah, it gets contagious. Now you just hope he doesn't start thinking he's a home run hitter.
Gets the bunt down. And to second base in scoring position is Barnes off the sacrifice.
As you can see, he still remembers how to play small ball.
And the Rockies will send Tulowitzki up to pinch hit. Now that Troy is striding to the plate to pinch hit, he is now playing in his 1,000th career game. He becomes the 5th Rocky ever to play in 1,000 games.
It's quite a list of names.
That's the guys you'd expect. Yep. Lake Street Bombers and Todd Hilton. Axford Warman in the bullpen for the Rockies. Hilton number 1, Walker, Castilla, Bichette. When the evening began, and I'm talking about the nightcap, it was 45 degrees. Temperature down to 42. Rockies looking for a little insurance, up by 2. Barnes at second with 1 out. Swung on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike on Tulowitzki. Troy in game 1 was 2 for 5, including an RBI hit in the 9th inning as the Rockies rallied for a couple of runs but fell short 10-8. Cantos ready. Here's the 1-1. It's split action. Dropped off the table, 1-2.
It's a good pitch. It's a tough at bat when you're coming off the bench. Hunter Pence did it. When you talk about a starter, a guy that plays every single day, and you get thrown in this role of being a guy that has to come off the bench, and you're so used to your normal routine as an everyday guy. Bench player, you come up, you got to be going right from the get-go.
Time granted.
Tulo for his career is 3 for 34 pinch hitting.
Strike 3 on Tulowitzki. Looks back at Paul Nauert. Says, really? 2 outs. That'll bring up Charlie Blackmon. Who wants tacos? Fans follow at @RootsSports_RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special when the Rockies hit the magic number of 7. Wow, that's a relic.
Bargain bin.
Be so hard on yourself.
That's true. Someone gave it to him.
Charlie 1 for 4. Strike 1. That's a balk because no time was granted. Blackman. Whoa. Now they're sending him back. Blackman never called time. He just backed out. Canto stopped pitching. Why is that not a balk?
He either gave it, Paul's saying he called it himself, or he gave it to Posey. Let's see who he points to.
Unless, and I've seen this before, the hitter cannot initiate a balk, and that's probably what was called. That's what was called. Even though time wasn't called, I retract that. A hitter can't initiate a ball. This is pop foul out of play. That's why you got no argument from Walt.
No.
Looked strange initially.
It did look strange.
Saw that in the game in the last couple of years. Same type of thing happened.
So many things that happen on a daily basis that, number one, you haven't seen before. Number two, it hasn't been done in a while.
Hard shot, but it's at Crawford. And we'll go to the top of the 9th inning. The Rockies looking for 3 more outs to knock off the Giants and end their 8-game winning streak. By Mike Shaw Subaru, always our lowest price in sales and service guaranteed. And by StubHub, Rockies fans, next time you need great seats, get to StubHub without the surprise fees. It's been a long day and night at the ballpark, and the Rockies are 3 outs away from ending the Giants' 8-game winning streak. It's 5-3 Colorado in the 9th as we go to center field and check in with Mark Stout. Mark?
Yeah, Drew, that means we're close to the Toyota post-game show. We had a hailstorm in parts of Colorado earlier today. We had one tonight with David Hale on the hill. We're stealing one from Spilly, front row Descalso, and it's late enough. I might do a little clubbing. Get into the clubhouse and see what the boys have to say about today's game. This is my strobe light for the clubs. It's late.
Yeah,
all right?
You haven't been to a club in a long time.
I was going to say, Mark.
Yeah.
That
you
would,
got this.
That would surprise me to see you in a club. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Maybe a few years ago, but not right now. No.
We'll fake it a little bit later, though.
You and I both.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, me too. I haven't been in a club in a long time either.
Okay, now that we have that out of the way, John Axford making his 11th appearance of the year, and John, in these situations, has been, in a word, outstanding. 5 for 5. He'll face Blanco And then Pagan is in the on-deck circle in the pitcher spot. And then Casey McGee is due after that. 5-3 Rockies. Shot through the left side, a base hit for Blanco. You know, so often, Spilly, in these situations, down 2, it's automatic take till you get a strike. Blanco's aggressive.
Yeah, you know the Giants aren't going to make it easy. They're not going to go down without a fight. And Blanco doing the unconventional thing, swinging first pitch off a closer, down 2 runs, gets rewarded.
So Angel Pagan. Blanco takes off. No throw. The first pitch misses on Pagan. Ball 1. And now McHenry's going to go out and make sure they have their signs straight.
That's a big jump by Blanco. You know, Zaxford has a high leg kick. Most closers typically have a slow move to the plate. Closers are usually just focused on getting the hitter. They know their stuff is good. They don't have to worry about the runners. In this case, you're still up. If he scores, you're still up 2 runs. You're still up 1 run. That runner on second base means nothing.
Fly ball to deep center field, but playable for Blackman. Blanco is going to tag, and is he out? Yes! What a throw from Blackman. Never slid. Blanco tagged out, and that's not a good play, obviously.
Well, what I want you to see is watch what we call a deke. A decoy Nolan Arenado will do to Blanco. He stands at third like the play's not even coming to him. Charlie does a great job to get behind the baseball. You have to get behind the baseball to give yourself some momentum to run and make a good throw. But watch Nolan, he's standing there like nothing's going on. Blanco doesn't think the ball's coming, and there he's out. I mean, you gotta love that. You love the fact that Nolan, he's been struggling at the plate, but he still comes out, he plays defense, he loves playing his defense. And then to go and do almost a backyard type play where you're trying to fool your friend. Well, it worked at the big league level.
Charlie Blackman picks off his 6th outfield assist of the season. That now moves him to the top of the list in the National League. That was enormous. Instead of McGee coming up with a chance to tie it, there's 2 outs, nobody on. Not out of the woods at all, though, because if somehow McGee were to reach, you have Hunter Pence on deck. Charlie Blackman has played a marvelous game on defense.
Yes, he has. Early in the game, backing up. That was a huge play. Saved a run right there. Another quality play. This is 18 innings for Charlie Blackman, and to continue to play like that.
Descalso slides and can't make the play. So Pence will come up, representing the tying run. Quickly, our CenturyLink link to what's next tomorrow afternoon, or later on today. We're about 5 minutes from tomorrow. Hudson for the Giants, Chad Bettis for the Rockies. Be an error on Descalso. Second at bat in the nightcap for Pence. He came in as a pinch hitter in the 7th, singled, and stayed in the game in right field.
And Ben Paulson's playing behind the runner at first base. not going to hold Casey McGee on, number one, because he doesn't run well, and number two, because there's no reason to. Again, we talked about the 2-run lead. Scoreboard dictates everything. It dictates where guys play on the field and how the pitches are thrown.
On the ground is short, and that's the ball game. John Axford 6 for 6 in saves, and the Rockies have ended the Giants' 8-game winning streak. David Hale goes to 1-0 as he wins his first ball game in a Rockies uniform. And Colorado plays, by and large, a very complete game in prevailing.